Good morning, my viewers. My name is Alex from ECS Motion. For this video, I'm doing another detailed bushfire update coming your way around Australia for the 3rd of January 2024. I've got a lot to get through once again, a lot of fires to talk about that occurred in WA last night and yesterday. Also talk about a few fires in New South Wales that could go bad later on to the few days. Talk about the Grampians bushfire, all that plus more coming up in today's bushfire update. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. But let's get stuck straight into things in New South Wales. So I still have a cold, so just saying I might be a bit grumpy or yeah, anyway. Let's start talking about fires. Let's talk about the one that's west of Port Macquarie or west of Coffs Harbour. As you can see, this advice is now brought under control. This 1,500 hectare bushfire is now under control. It's if you just look carefully, it's burning. You can see these rivers and creeks. They're basically acting as a fire break, which is good news. However, this part is expected to burn for the next few hours, so it's still not out yet. But yeah, that fire's really no big deal. We do have a bit of threat going on in Wollemie. If you live in these areas, Hose Valley, any of these areas, be prepared, stay informed, stay on high alert, or even be prepared to leave as the fire is starting to near you. Last night and the other day, it spread very quickly towards the southeast, spreading to the southeast, and it's still spreading, but the wind has changed, so now that fire is going to be spreading towards the southwest. So just saying, keep that in mind. We might see it either burn here or we might see it get put out, which is great news. The firefighters, if you are a firefighter and you're watching this video, I hope you're listening to this. I'd say this right now. What I'd recommend, this is exactly what happened in the Grampians bushfire. Can I just talk about this very quickly, please? I might have said this in a different video, but so as you know, probably the Grampians bushfire, right? It started right here, and there was a bit of a flank. Everything was burning fast and rapid here. Where here was just calm and nothing really to talk about. The firefighters, I'm not sure what they thought, but they probably thought that wouldn't go any. That wouldn't be a big deal, and they could put that out just later. It turns out it was a bad thing because it ended up travelling over here and basically burning through some parts of Glen Thompson. Yeah, so that's the exact same thing with the Glen Davis bushfire right now. You can see Glen Davis right there. The fire started about here and then it's spreading that way, right? These are acting as fire breaks, which is good news. It should be out by tomorrow, hopefully. You never know how conditions change. But I'd recommend firefighters actually getting this put out right now, because the fire, like, yes, it's traveling that way, but look at all these fire breaks, like this, these ridges, like the fire shouldn't be able to cross them. There's literally rivers there, right? And there's really no threat to Glen Davis because of these rivers and creeks here. Yeah, here, look at all this bush and wollemie stuff. So if they get this part, at least get this part put out or contained, and then let that part burn a little bit there, and then that's good. But if they get this out, and what if the winds change to the east, and this flank here will start burning that way. So that's just my bit of advice, to get this out first, then get that out, because this may reignite and then burn to the east, and then if in real rare cases it could cause a disaster, but that shouldn't happen. But yeah, once again, stay informed. These two fires, these are growing a fair bit. Let's talk about the fire south of Martindale, south of Denman. You can see it's also kind of grew a bit. It's not really too big, but it is 1,000 hectares at least. It's still sort of out of control. The one next to it towards the west is also not really under control yet. Hopefully they'll be able to get it under control. About 200 hectares has been burnt now. The fires have not been updated. There's so many others burning in the Wollemie National Park area. But yeah, none of them are really a big threat, but there are a couple that you should keep a very close eye on, and that's the Hose Valley bushfire and the Dingo Creek bushfire near Glen Davis. But yeah, certainly nothing too much, just another, bushfire starting out season. Let's go into Victoria now and talk about the Grampians bushfire. Now, there's nothing exciting about it, but there is some good news. Oh my god, nothing even changed. Like, this fire has not been updated in days now. If you live in the yellow, you can return in with safety. Just be cautioned. Once again, there could still be firefighters working in the area and the fire could still be burning. If you live in the watch and act, if you left, it's not safe, not really a good idea to return. But if you live in these outliers of the watch and act in these sort of areas, I mean, you can return, I'd say. It's not really too big of a threat. Same thing with Mafeking, you can return now. It's not burning there anymore. But yeah, if you live in these Brownshill area, if you live right here, do not return yet if you left, because there's still a flank of fire and could still be burning, and if the winds push it, it could flare up and then burn this whole area. So do not return if you live in this area right here. But like that, surrounding it, it's pretty safe, It's not a not something you should be too concerned about. The firefighters are getting it under control, which is good news. But yeah, even though it's being controlled, stay informed around these areas. You never know when things could change. 76,000 hectares. I'm pretty sure it's 77,000 now. But yeah, let's go to WA. We had a few fires. The fire south of Geraldton Dungar is now completely out, basically. You can return home. You might still see a bit of smoke around the area. There could still be smoldering from the logs and stuff from the remnants of the bushfire. But you really don't need to worry about anything. I'm not sure if any properties were lost. I hope not. There might have been one, but I don't think there was any that were lost. So that's very good news. We had another fire start about yesterday or so, was it, or today. It's just a bit of a not fast moving, just a bushfire burning along the road. Nothing to worry about there. We had a watch and act. I'm pretty sure it was a watch and act the other day, north of Kola. The fire was spreading very fast to the north. Well, now that's under control, which is good news. You can return if you left. We had another emergency warning west of Perth. I might have talked about this. It was a very fast-moving bush/grass fire here. It's under control now. It's burning in containment lines. If you left the area, you can now return home. Just be cautioned. There might have been one property, the Pura facility, that might have actually been lost, because I did see, even though it showed black marks here where the fire actually burnt through, it doesn't always mean the buildings in there were burnt. Firefighters might have been able to save them, which is good. So, but yeah, I'm not really sure if any properties were lost or damaged, but I've got a gut feeling that one might have. Yeah, we've got too much to talk about. That's not really exciting. We did have another fire burning around the Beaverley area, but that's just some sort of advice. We had another fire in the area, also another advice, nothing to worry about. 3 other fires, also just something to be stay informed of. We did have a fire, a more so significant fire. I'll talk about that later. Well, I'm pretty sure we had a watch and act a few days ago here. Well, that's really under control now. Yeah, just stay informed in the area. And then here we had an emergency warning last night in this area of very fast moving fire towards the north or so, and then it started traveling to the east. But now that's under control, and if you left the area, you can return. Just stay informed, because the fire is still burning in containment lines there. Our firefighters are getting it under control now, which is very good news. In fact, it is under control. But yeah, that's really all I have this video, guys. Not as detailed as... What on earth is this? I've never seen this, guys. Look at this. This advice. Look how skinny. Why? Why can't they just do a big... I'm guessing there's like a bushfire burning over here, and there's just stay informed along the road, because there's no homes around here. Why can't they just do a big one like that? It's just stupid. Anyway, that's all I have this video. Thanks so much for watching. Wasn't as detailed because I didn't do any detailed updates yesterday. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. All support is greatly appreciated. But yeah, hope you have a good day. Stay safe if you live in the fire affected areas, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.